Welcome back as you join us on the war-torn battlefields of the Horus Heresy. Today, the Sons of Horus will once again be fighting the Imperial fists. We've got the points to 2,500 and we've brought a couple of Primarchs. The mission today is Shatter Strike and deployment is Clash of the Line. So we need to get into each other's deployment zones in order to score. But first, let's take you through the forces. First off, in reserve is Horus himself, along with his Justarin retinue. There is a multi-melter in there. For my HQ, I've got a Cataphracti Praetor. He has got a Combi Melter and Chain Fist. I'm using the Pride of the Legion, so that means my Cataphracti and my veterans are troops. So we got my first veteran squad there, Cataphracti unit with hammers, autocannon and some maces. And my second one is hiding away in this building, and they've all got lightning claws. My first veteran squad, Sergeant's got plasma and a power sword. We've got a heavy bolter and a plasma gun in that unit, and an apothecary is attached to it. He's got a Volkite Serpenta. My second tactical squad is in this Rhino. Quite similar to the first. The Sergeant there has a power fist and a plasma pistol. And we've got a missile launcher and a flamer and another apothecary. There we have a Scorpius hiding behind that building. And finally my Primarchs Lightning Strike Fighter back in reserve. That is 2,499 points of Sons of Horus, taking the Pride of the Legion Rite of War.
Here is my Imperial Fist army for today. So, to start with, inside that Spartan, we have Rogel Dawn himself, along with an Apothecary and 5 Tartaros Terminators with lightning claws. And then in this Rhino over here, we have Fafnir Ran, a Chaplain, and 10 Phalanx Warders. Also on the field I have 2 identical tactical squads. I just sat there and there. I have 2 Dreadnoughts, one with 2 Gravis autocannons and a Havoc launcher, and one with 2 Gravis las cannons and a helical targeting array. And then finally a heavy sports squad with 10 heavy bolters in that building there. And that is 2,497 points using the Pride of the Legion Rite of War.
Okay, and before we start, I'm going to attempt to seize the initiative. Here we go. I did not. So we're back for Imperial Fists, turn 1.
So in my first movement phase, everything just kind of moved up. The 2 vehicles moved cruising speed. Tactical squads ran, as did they. That dreadnought stayed where it is, but this one moved up. On to shooting. Right, so the las cannon fired one of its las cannon arrays at the Rhino. It got cover and I did 1 hull point. And then the Dreadnought fired its autocannons into the Terminators because for a second I forgot that autocannons are also quite good at anti-vehicle. And I did 1 wound to the Terminators.
The Rhino also had weapon destroyed.
Yes. That's all the shooting I've got, so I'm not going to charge. So that's just on to Sons of Horus turn 1.
First of all, these tactical squads just moved up behind this wall to get a little bit of cover. The Rhino moved cruising over there. It's not shooting anyway, so let's see if we can get that veteran squad. Yes, veteran, not tactical. Veteran squads further up the boards. The Terminator squad here couldn't get range to anything, so just took a little bit of cover. Lightning Claws unit just advanced up into the building so they don't get shot. And obviously the Scorpius sat where it was to do some shooting. And speaking of, that will be the only thing that is shooting this turn. Scorpius rained down glorious hell on that. Is that a tactical squad?
Yep.
And I managed to kill 3 of them. However, they did pass the morale test. Right, that is the only shooting I can possibly do this turn. And I'm not assaulting either. So that is the end of turn 1. So next up, Imperial Fists, turn 2.
So everything, apart from that Dreadnought, moved this turn. So Dreadnought's still there. They continued moving up. These guys ran out. The Rhino moved up and disembarked, as did the Spartan. There's Rogel Dawn. And these guys just moved up here. Okay, so first shooting attack. That Dreadnought fired its 2 crevice las guns into the Rhino and blew it up, which killed 1 guy that was inside. So the Phalanx Warders and the Rhino fired their weapons into that squad, and I managed to kill another one and wound 1. Okay, so the Dreadnought just fired at those guys. I did another 3 wounds, so I killed that one and finished off the first one. Okay, Spartan split fired. It fired its right las cannon multi-melter into those guys and killed 2 guys, and its heavy bolter and its left las cannon into the Terminators in here and killed 1 of them. Right, they passed their morale check, and that marks the end of the shooting phase, so on to the charge phase. Okay, so here's the charge here. They used Hold the Line, so my charge is now counted as disordered. Okay, so this fight went well. I killed 2 of them in combat, and then, because I won the combat, they failed their morale check, they ran away, and because I am Tartaros, I managed to sweeping advance them to death. That is the end of my turn 2, so on to Sons of Horus, turn 2.
So to start with, Horus and his Justarian deep struck in. The lightning did not come in this turn. So these Terminators are moving up, heading towards the Spartan. A little bit out in the open, but I can't sit back waiting for you to come to me. My veteran squad that is by some miracle still alive is going to see if we can do some damage to that squad there. And my other veteran squad is just underneath us. There. Ooh, dizzy. Alright, let's do some shooting. So Horus and the Justarian fired into Dorn and the Terminators, and I managed to kill 1 Terminator with a lucky melter shot. Next up, this unit, the Cataphracti with the Praetor, they fired into Dorn's unit as well, but I did not cause any wounds whatsoever. Okay, this unit of veterans fired into the, what are they,
Phalanx Warders.
Phalanx Warders. I managed to kill 1 of them. The veteran squad that is in the building behind this wall also fired at the Phalanx Warders, and I killed one person. Woo. And finally, for my shooting phase, the Scorpius fired into, again, the same unit. Oop, I'm recording a bit of scenery there. And I killed 1 person. That was enough to force him to take a morale check, but he passed, unfortunately. So, hey, let's do some charging. In the assault phase, Horus and the Justarian got into combat with Dorn and the Terminators, and my veterans got into assault with the Phalanx Warders. Okay, in this combat I managed to kill 2 of the Terminators and wound Dorn, and Dorn wounded me. But I failed to make them run away. Not that I thought that Primarch would run away. Okay, and the final combat's this one over here. And in this assault, they all got wiped out before they even got to swung a hit due to their higher initiative. Ho-hum! That ends turn number 2. So we'll be back for Imperial Fist, turn number 3.
Okay, so movement. These guys moved up a bit. That squad obviously stayed where they are. The Spartan moved around, so it can see the whirlwind hiding behind that building.
It's not the whirlwind.
Yes, it is.
It's a Scorpius.
It's a whirlwind Scorpius.
Just a Scorpius.
Okay. Tactical squad ran up. They moved up a bit. Sports squad can finally shoot something, so they stayed where they are. And Dreadnought stayed where it is. So, Dreddy fired its las cannons at the Terminators and killed one, and then the Spartan fired its multi-melter and heavy bolter at the Terminators and didn't kill any, but it fired its las cannon rays into the Whirlwind Scorpius, and it blew it up. Autocannon Dreadnought fired at the Terminators and did 1 wound. Hey, these guys, they all just about saw the veterans there, they shot at them, they did 4 wounds, killing 2 of them. Okay, so the Phalanx Warders just declared a shooting attack, and then the veteran squad used the Death Dealer's reaction and killed 3 of them. Now I'm going to actually shoot. Phalanx Warders did 1 wound. I probably should not have shot them. Okay, so the Rhino shot into as well and finished off the guy I wounded. That's all for the shooting phase. On to charging. So the Phalanx Warders charged and another 2 of them died in Overwatch. Okay, let's do this combat first. Okay, so the combat here. The Primarchs once again did 1 wound to each other, and the Terminator and the Apothecary on my side were killed, and I did 1 wound to their Terminator. Okay, so this combat here just happened. They killed the 2 remaining Phalanx Warders, but fortunately I killed 3 of them, and won the combat, and they are now running away. That's all for this turn, so Sons of Horus turn 3.
So, at the beginning of turn 4, my lightning has come in, and Christian is about to intercept it.
Yes.
And it was blown to 1,000,000 pieces by which? That one there?
No, that one.
That one there.
With the helical targeting array and the las cannons.
Okay. Let's do some normal moving then. Right, only movement that was done was that units move round, see if we can take out the Spartan. And the remaining Sons of Horus are now rallied. Right, the veteran shot at the chaplain but failed to cause any damage. Let's see. There's no point in them shooting at the Spartan because... Combi melter. Oh yes, I've got a combi melter in that squad. I'm going to fire the combi melter. Success! The combi melter did manage to one-shot the Spartan. Yay. That's all for shooting. This unit is going to charge your unit.
Which one?
This unit is going to charge the chaplain.
Okay.
And the combat over there resulted in us causing 2 wounds to each other.
Technically I won.
And the combat down here resulted in no wounds to either side. Now that ends the 3rd turn. So back for Imperial Fists, turn 4.
Right, movements. These units stayed where they are. Fafnir moved a little closer. The tactical squad here embarked in that Rhino, and it moved forward a bit. Dreadnought moved up, as did these guys, and obviously Rogaldorn stayed where he is. On to shooting. And also these Terminators used the advanced reaction. Okay, so both the heavy bolters and the las cannon fired at the Terminators, but only the las cannon was able to kill one. Right, these 2 units fired. The autocannons killed the Terminator, and the bolt guns also killed the Terminator. They did, however, pass their morale test. That is not all shooting, I was mistaken. And finally, the Rhino fired at the Terminators and did 1 wound. I assume he meant to the Sergeant, not the Praetor. Yeah. Okay, on to combat. Okay, so this combat resolved, and for the first time, I did 2 wounds to Horus, and Horus did no wounds to me, neither did the Terminators. So an interesting combat over here. They managed to kill Fafnir Ran, but my wounds total was still higher due to Rogaldorn's rule, and I killed them in sweeping advance as they ran away. That is the end of Imperial Fists turn 4, so on to Sons of Horus turn 4.
I'm down to my last 2 units now, so things are getting a little bit rough. So the only movement was these 2 Terminators just moved slightly towards the Dreadnought. Let's do some shooting now. No surprise, but I didn't scratch the Dreadnought. So, it's going to be charging, and it's just going to be these 2 charging the Dreadnought. Right, so in the assault phase, I managed to cause 2 wounds on the Dreadnought. However, Dorn killed Horus, and wiped out the Justarin in a sweeping advance. which means I only have one model left on the board. So I think at this point I'm calling it, because there's no way, from attrition alone.
And I definitely would have killed that Brator next time with Royal Dawn.
So, where did it all go wrong? I built an elite force, heavily infantry based, and didn't really consider all the armour I'd be facing. So,
I mean, you managed to one-shot the Spartan, which was pretty lucky.
yeah, with my one melter shot, never to be repeated. So I couldn't deal with all the heavy armour. My flyer got one-shotted. I mean, there's nothing I could have done about it. Well, what I could have done about it was kill him before the flyer came on the board, but again, didn't have the opportunity to do that. So, bad army design in this case. Thinking more about foot slogging and not about dealing with all the armour. So, a loss for the Sons of Horus again.
Another victory for the Imperial Fists.
But I know where I went wrong, and next time I will compensate for it. Anyway, thanks for watching this game, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.